Victory Laoag started in 1997 when Pastor Benny Bagawisan and Pastor James Ardan responded to God's call of reaching out the city of Laoag. Driven by the passion and obedience to the Great Commission, they started through campus ministry where Pastor Benny and Pastor James became part-time instructors at Northwestern University. With Pastor Benny at the College of Architecture and Pastor James at the College of Physical Therapy, they both invested in the lives of students, sharing their faith in Jesus and discipling them, helping the students grow in their relationship with God and helping them realize God's wonderful plan in the lives of the students. And later on, those students became professionals, reaching out to their fellow professionals. Then those professionals became married people, reaching out to families. To date, we now have about 500 people attending our weekly worship gathering. As God is not just limited to pouring out His blessings and favor upon Laoag, in 2003, Victory Laoag helped church plant in Batak, Ilocos Norte, headed by Pastor George and Angie Balisacan, and in 2009, a church plant in Vigan headed by Pastor Jonathan and Lani Ramos. By the way, Victory Vigan will also be formally launched this month. Truly, God desires to expand the territory of His church and desires for everyone to come to the knowledge of His love. With 15 years of God's faithfulness in this church, we have seen miracles upon miracles of changed lives of students, single professionals, and married couples. Now, here are some of their life-changing stories.
When I went back to Victory, I felt a deeper sense of longingness to God, of His Word, of Him in my life more. I've always had a relationship with God, but I never felt this much strength of love for Him before. Victory helped me realize, through the grace of God, that if I truly surrender my life to Him, everything else will fall into place perfectly. Years back, I seek love from others. I thought finding this from others will make me happy. It did, but it doesn't really last that long. When I renewed my relationship with God, and as I grew stronger in faith day by day, that's when I found true happiness that comes from within. I felt a deep sense of completeness. I felt that I don't need anything else, nor anyone else, because God's love alone is already too strong for me to hold it in any longer. So the tendency is that I also share this love to others. So that's how it all started.
God is the ultimate restorer of everything.
A few years ago, we actually separated. I left him because he was bad. He was really bad.
They left me all alone for at least a week.
But because I loved God more than him, I took the risk to return.
During those times, we don't talk much. We even kind of decided to see marriage counselors to help us. It was also during those times that we decided to look for a church. We were not aware God is leading us to victory.
It was God who reached out His hands for us. From the moment we attended every service, our relationship with God deepened and ultimately our family restored.
Addictions, selfishness, and intentional sins are bygones. Having Jesus Christ with us is not living trials-free relationship. But with God, we are assured that no matter how hard trials come on our way, we will be able to withstand them and remain strong and committed as a family.
With God, I was able to understand, accept, and forgive Him. With God's intrusion, we became a storm-proof family. Having Christ in the family means everything.
As for me and our house, we will serve the Lord.
To God be the glory.
As a student, having a relationship with God has been such a great help for me. Let us just say that I was once a disobedient kid, a problem of my mother, and it seems like my life doesn't have a direction that time. Well, going back to the time that God intruded my life, things were never the same. My life has been changed. The new me is here, and the old is gone. Realizing this, I was just so amazed of what God did to my life in the past few months. He gave me a new couple of friends. I was just so amazed about the grace that He had given me for me to live a sufficient life, and of course, I was just so amazed with what He has done in my studies. Well, realizing this, I was just so happy that apart from His grace in my life, I will never be able to do His purpose. And by that, I just realized this one thing. Apart from Him, I am nothing.
As we are being greatly inspired by how God changed the lives of these people, we desire to expand our territories of reaching out not just to students, but even to families, professionals, businessmen, and government leaders. With intense prayers and intercession, we strategically came up with the idea of planting a church at the heart of the city where we can effectively reach out to more students, families, professionals, businessmen, and government leaders. And with God on our side, nothing is impossible. We can indeed witness the power of the gospel to cause Laoag to shine. We say in unison, shine, Laoag, shine.